It's finally here. After much anticipation, Slayer legend Kerry King has released his debut solo single called Idle Hands from his upcoming debut release titled From Hell I Rise. This song is something I've been waiting to hear for quite some time. I had very high expectations from it. Let me know how you feel about this, but I gotta tell you, this track really exceeded my expectations. While there are some serious Slayer vibes, some thrash metal vibes you would come to expect from a Kerry King project, it's also different as well. There's something for everybody in this, but it's very heavy and very well produced, and that's a testament to veteran producer Josh Wilbur, who worked on this 13-track release. It's coming out in May. And Kerry King did a very big interview in connection with this new music with Rolling Stone, and one of the things you know about Kerry King throughout his career, he held nothing back in this interview with Rolling Stone, which I've linked to in the description. A few notable things that he talks about here. He says he hasn't spoken to Tom Araya, not even once, since their final performance. Now, we were under the understanding that really the reason that Slayer came to an end was because Tom Araya just didn't want to tour anymore. He didn't like traveling. I don't think that would necessarily have anything to do with him not wanting to speak to his bandmates. It seems like maybe something more is there. But also at the same time, Tom Araya has every right to do what he wants to do because he had a full and entire career. He gave so much of himself to the world, and he went out on his own terms. He did his career his way, so nothing but respect to that. But back to Kerry King. This guy is really snapping in the studio on this new music. Very exciting. Here's a little bit of what Kerry had to say in that interview. So they go into a lot during this conversation. Here's the part where he talks about how he found out Slayer wanted to retire and his relationship with Tom Araya, where he says they weren't really ever on the same page, including having differing political opinions. Although Kerry King said, it wasn't ever anything where he wanted to quit the band. He just, didn't agree with him. He said, we were on tour and some kid was interviewing him and he said something about, I've got to get together with Kerry and talk before we talk about the next record. He should have just said, I'm probably not going to do another record, or had that conversation with me. Before he mentioned anything like that, I was just assuming, oh fuck, what's this going to be? And it was, I'm done. Not what I expected, but if you made that decision, I'm not going to try to talk you out of it because your heart's going to be, not going to be in it anyways. Did he say he was done or why? He goes, I think the wear and tear of the road, I think he wanted to be home. None of us are real spotlight seekers, but he's certainly not. And when Jeff was around, he was like a hermit. He didn't want fame. I tolerate fame. Somebody's got to be that guy. And, this is the story that we've heard about Tom Araya repeatedly, so it sounds like that was correct. I was wondering if the split was due to you two having different political ideologies. You seemed pretty angry when Tom posted about Trump on Slayer's Instagram. That was a big thing, that post on the official Slayer account. Regardless of who you want to vote for, probably for most bands, not great to post directly some political message on the official band account. So it goes, I was super pissed off at that, but not enough to quit my band. I was like, dude, that's what your personal social media is for. You're the only one in this band that gives a shit about this idiot, and when you put it up there, we're all backing him. And I'm not backing him. Gary's not. Paul's not. That's your opinion, not ours. I would never do that to you. And then he goes, I wasn't sure if that was something deeper. Good questioning. Well, me and Tom have never been on the same page. Like, if I want a chocolate shake, he wants a vanilla shake. Kerry, what color is the sky? Blue. Tom, what color is the sky? White. We're just different people. The further on in years we got, it just became more. Am I going to hang out with Tom? He likes tequila a little bit, and I'm a big tequila head, so I'll have my shot with him, and we'll part ways. We're not going to hang out or anything because we're very different people, and together we made great music and a great live show. Now, later on in the interview, this is really interesting. They asked if he had even spoken to Tom at all since the last show. He goes, not even a text, not even an email. I've talked to everybody else from the band on the phone, text, or email. If Tom hit me up, I'd probably respond. Probably depends on what he hit me up for, but I don't wish him dead at this moment. Now, what's interesting is they also bring up Dave Lombardo, the original founding drummer of the group, and Kerry King is very unhappy with him, and this stems from his departure, where Lombardo is talking about business, and he felt as though he was led astray, and it really comes down to financials in this situation, and Kerry seems like he was very hurt by the way that situation still went down. They asked, the only other surviving original Slayer member is Dave Lombardo, but the band fired him in 2013 after he made a Facebook post about the band's business behind the scenes. If you talk to him, King says, no, Lombardo is dead to me. I didn't know it was that bad, they said. He goes, he went on that tirade when we were on a flight to Australia, and he knew we couldn't retort for 14 hours, and he threw me under the bus. So it sounds like what occurred is the timing of that message was while the band was on a flight without access to Wi-Fi. As he says, again, they couldn't retort for 14 hours. That's what I'm getting from that. He goes, he knew we couldn't retort for 14 hours and he threw me under the bus. I was the only one keeping him in the band. Tom wanted him out before that, and Jeff had just gotten the spider bite, causing him to be off the road for a bit, so he wasn't playing with us much. I said, we need Dave. The fans won't get it if we replace him right now. And then the Australia thing come up. He threw me under the bus, and I'm like, I'm the guy that kept you here. So I thought, fuck that guy. They asked what happened, what led him to that point. He says he's super impressionable. He was listening to this woman that was his attorney at the time, and she thought we had Metallica money, which we never had fucking Metallica money. So she's just blowing shit in his ear, and he thinks he should be getting more than he should be getting. It's like, talk to somebody that actually knows the situation and isn't blowing sunshine up your ass to make money in your commission. I want to point out as well, there were rumors for a time that Phil Anselmo from Pantera was going to handle vocals on this project. He actually addressed that in that interview. This is what he said. Rumors have circulated that Phil Anselmo would sing on your album. Was that ever a possibility? He goes, it was considered. My management, my promoter, my record label all wanted Phil. Phil's a good friend of mine, but I always thought he's not the right guy. That has nothing to do with his ability. I just knew he wasn't the right guy. When you hear Mark on this record, you know that's the guy. I had to do due diligence because at the end of the day, had Philip been the guy, we'd be put in arenas immediately because we could play new stuff. We could play Pantera. We could play Slayer. The fans would have been happy. It ended when the Pantera thing came up. They continued. I also heard rumors that you would be a part of the Pantera reunion. He goes, I won't confirm or deny that. Man, I gotta tell you, there was a lot of anticipation for this. I had high expectations for this song and for this music, and it honestly exceeded my expectations. Josh Wilbur has great quality in his production. So much excitement there, folks. Let me know what you think in the comments. That's your latest update from Rockfeed. Consider supporting on Patreon. Hit that subscribe button with notifications on for the latest news and updates.